In today's video, we're gonna explore the beautiful neighborhood of La Jolla in San Diego. It's an absolutely incredible place to spend time. The views are second to none. Great place to go to dinner, great place to shop during the day, great place to just relax on the beach. We're gonna go over it all. But before we do, my name is Wesley Guest. I'm a San Diego real estate agent. If you need any help moving to from or within San Diego County, don't be shy about reaching out to me. My contact information is gonna be down below. And if you enjoy content like this, I put out content at least once a week. Please subscribe. Pros and cons of living in La Jolla. Number one, without a doubt, is gonna be the stunning coastal location. Now, La Jolla is a pretty decent sized area. The views are going to be spectacular from so many different locations, all the way from Bird Rock to Hermosa to La Jolla Cove, all the way around to La Jolla Shores. The views are amazing. Now, that being said, there are lots of good spots, even better, like more secret, like local spots. If you move there, you're gonna get to know them real fast. Now, La Jolla Shores is gonna be like your most typical beach for like a day at the beach with, let's say, your family. There's gonna be lots of parking, there's gonna be lots and lots and lots of sand, lots of people in the water, there's lifeguards, there's facilities like restrooms. Think of going to the beach, this is gonna be it. If you're in La Jolla, let's say to see some of the wildlife, it's very famous for like able to see seals and sea lions. You wanna head to La Jolla Cove. You walk up to the railing, look down on the rocks, there's gonna be sea lions and seals everywhere lying on the beach. Other areas like Wind and Sea, for example, is gonna be a very popular, a very great surf spot. And then as you continue up north, past La Jolla Shores into the Torrey Pines area, the cliffs, that is gonna be like Black's Beach, which is clothing optional.
He was at the new beach!
But that is one of the very best surf breaks in San Diego County. Then there's gonna be the La Jolla Tide Pools, which is a lot of fun. Check out like the starfish, sea urchins, all that cool stuff. Now, being a seaside community, you have access to all the water related activities, snorkeling, full on scuba diving, kayaking, paddleboarding is big. Paddleboarding and kayaking is pretty incredible in the La Jolla Shores area. Certain times a year, you get hundreds, if not thousands of like leopard sharks. You're gonna see them everywhere. So a lot of fun. Scientists say they're mostly harmless, but don't go too far because it's also the stomping grounds of the great white shark. That being said, I'm sure you're in a big rush to get in the water, but you're also gonna have swimming. Like I mentioned before, surfing is very good. Also gonna have off Torrey Pines, you're gonna have hang gliders, like hang gliding that happens. Very cool. Pro number two, it's an incredible upscale neighborhood. Now, when I say upscale, I'm talking luxurious. La Jolla is always in that top 5, if not the top 3 most expensive markets in the entire San Diego County for real estate. That in turn is going to attract all the other upscale and luxury things that go along with that, such as like upscale restaurants. The restaurants are incredible. I love going down there to dinner. Some of the best food I've had in San Diego. Super nice stores and boutiques, like for clothing and jewelry, that kind of stuff. Now, specifically in the village of La Jolla, in addition to all the upscale restaurants, you're also gonna have entertainment happening down there, restaurants that stay open later. There's like a couple little pubs. There's a comedy club down there. So there's actually a lot to do. Pro number 3 is gonna be excellent school options. Now, when I say excellent school options, I'm talking from like preschool all the way up through like university, even like doctorate programs. Now, rather than me recommending which schools I think are better than the other, I'm going to include a link down below from the website Niche. They do a great job at ranking schools all the way from like preschool, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, and then university-wise, you have the University of California, San Diego. Now, people living in La Jolla, for the most part, love the fact they're from La Jolla, and I think that's a great thing. That being said, each community in La Jolla can be very different from one another, even if they're right next to each other. So you definitely want to spend some time in La Jolla and make sure you wind up in the right neighborhood. Now, La Jolla is considered a fairly safe neighborhood per that website Niche. That being the case, I've included a list for you below of 7 different websites that break down the neighborhood of La Jolla very specifically, so you can look for yourself. Check it out after this video, of course. Pro number 5 is going to be outdoor recreation in La Jolla. There's so much you can do outdoors. You're going to have hiking. Now, the hiking in the Torrey Pines of La Jolla, which is like the north side of La Jolla, is actually pretty incredible. Not an easy hike. It's going to be steep. It's going to be kind of like cliffs, but you're going to be right on the ocean. The views are amazing. In that same area, you're also going to have the Torrey Pines Golf golf course. So if golf course is your thing, there's a couple golf courses in La Jolla. The Torrey Pines Golf Course is by far the most famous. That's where they have the Farmers Insurance Open every year.
It's a mystical golf course, right?
Number 6 is going to be kind of cultural, like the art scene happening in La Jolla. There's going to be galleries, cultural events that are happening. The Museum of Contemporary Art is one of the more popular art museums in La Jolla. There's also going to be the Village Art Walk that happens, which showcases like a lot of like local artists, things like that. During Halloween, they have spooky festivities like Pillage of Village, which is a lot of fun for kids. The La Jolla Art and Wine Festival has been growing year after year. It's actually huge. It was rated one of the best wine festivals in the entire country. Just some of the pros that I thought of. There's going to be more, especially based on your lifestyle. I mean, there's a lot of great reasons to live in La Jolla. That being said, there's probably going to be a few things they could do without. One con of living in La Jolla is going to be the cost of living in La Jolla. The biggest cost driver here is going to be by far housing, rent, and just general living expenses. The median home price, drum roll, median home price, $2,450,000 and climbing. Number 2 is going to be traffic and the parking. Now, traffic is a big one. There's really only a couple feasible ways to get into La Jolla. Depending on the time of day, traffic can be substantial. One of the more popular ways to drive in is to go in through Pacific Beach. If coming off the freeway, if you're using Google Maps, let's say, it's probably gonna send you in through La Jolla Parkway. Depending on the time that you're on La Jolla Parkway, this is when you can find yourself in a major traffic jam, and then that's gonna continue on. If you get to the bottom of La Jolla Parkway, you go up left, let's say you're heading to the village of La Jolla, you're gonna see a lot of traffic. It's very crowded during weekends. Let's say you get through the traffic and you're in La Jolla at your destination. Now you need to find a parking spot. Well, parking can definitely be a challenge. Keep that in mind. Con number 3, it kind of ties into that traffic that we mentioned, but you're gonna get tourists. There's a huge influx of tourists that happens, especially during like the tourism seasons, like spring into the summer especially. You're gonna get a lot of people here that are trying to escape the heat, let's say from like Arizona, coming from other places. La Jolla Cove especially, they're gonna be down there checking out the sea lions, the seals, they're gonna be checking out the waves, I mean the views. There's gonna be a lot of people around. If you're living in La Jolla and you're dealing with tourists, on the one hand, they're usually in a pretty good mood, everything's pretty lighthearted. On the other hand, if you've got somewhere to go, you're late, you're in a rush.
It's useless, this traffic isn't moving.
The last thing you wanna do is get stuck behind, let's say, a tourist driving on the streets, somebody at the light. It's gonna make things a lot more frustrating. Number 4 is gonna be noise levels. So this is not gonna apply to all of La Jolla, but there's gonna be certain parts where it's gonna be a little more noisy than others. Definitely like the village of La Jolla, you're gonna be dealing with some noise. Certain parts of like Bird Rock are gonna have some noise happening. Anywhere along La Jolla Boulevard, you get into La Jolla Shores, a lot of people going to the beach, there's just gonna be a lot of noise happening. If you're up in the hills like Hidden Valley, if you're up in Muirlands, places like that, I don't think noise is really gonna be that big of a factor. Con number 5, I thought about not even including it, but it could be applicable to some people depending on if you're working from home or if you're still going into the office. It's a big place, there's traffic happening, which we already discussed. It can take a little while to drive to certain places in and out of La Jolla.
Wonder what's causing all this traffic.
If you're doing that every day, multiple times a day, like you're commuting to work, I mean, that might get a little old pretty quickly. It's gonna be my pros and cons list of living in like La Jolla. Obviously, depending on your specific lifestyle, you might have more pros, you might have more cons than I would. Your list might look drastically different. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm putting out content like this at least once a week. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe. And if you're looking for your next video, check this one out right here. In this video, I break down all the different neighborhoods specifically that make up La Jolla. Thinking about moving to La Jolla and you're not that familiar with it, you might find this video very helpful. Have an amazing day.